there was a caveat in that. They had to have the brains to know the difference between the right eye and the left eye. Not a big deal. Oh, I made it for the wrong eye. Not a big deal. And they had to realize that there was a mission that we had. And that mission was people before profit. Now, when I talk to a lot of business people, especially ones in our society now, that are so concerned with the bottom line, they get so much into making sure that they get a bump in the number on the bottom line, because we're all concerned about EBITDA, we're all concerned about the quarterly numbers and so forth. Well, an amazing thing happened. When the people I hired understood that philosophy, and they worked with me and everyone else as we grew, and they had the people before profit philosophy embedded, and usually it came before they were even in the building. They had to sort of come with that understanding. You know what happened? Our business grew like crazy because people understood that we actually literally cared about them. That we had a certain perspective, and that was, we're not really concerned about the bottom line, we're concerned about you. Yes, do we have to make a profit? There's no doubt about it. I'm a capitalist. This is America. How can you exist? You got to pay rent, you got to pay employees, you got to pay health care, okay, and everything else that goes along with it. But we have, to some degree, lost that edge, I feel. And the people before profit mantra, which is also in the book and explained a little more, had an interesting effect, because one day a journalist came in, a guy named Bill Mandel, who wrote for the, let me see how many of you are as gray as me, or as tan as me here. This is, by the way, is it on straight? He wrote for the Bulletin. Do you remember the Bulletin? He wrote for the Bulletin. That's not something that's cork. It's not cork. It was an actual Sunday paper. And the Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Evening Bulletin. So we had the Evening Bulletin. Bill comes in and he says to me, "This is amazing. You mean you can sell for $25? And they're good?" I said, "Are they good? Take them back to your ophthalmologist. Take them back to your ophthalmologist, and if they're not perfect, we'll remake them. And if they're not better than the stuff, or as good that you're paying 5 times the amount for, bring them back. I'll give you your money back, or I'll remake them." So he came in and he did a story about this crazy hippie. And real, is that a train? Is there a train in here? Hold on. Next station stop is Stenton. There's a train in this woman's handbag. I don't know how that happened, but she has a train in her handbag. That's worth how much? How much is that worth? Okay. So, anyway, Bill says to me, I got to write a story about this. Here was this freaky-looking guy. And my hair was, by the way, it sucked in. So peanut butter is a problem. Well, my hair used to be down to here, and my beard was out to here. Okay. And I only cut it off five years ago. Well, I didn't cut it off. Somebody came and took it away. But nevertheless, he wrote a story. And it was about hippie capitalist gives the new look or something. And the photographer came in and he said, and of course Bill bought a pair of glasses because he had to check it out. Could he see to write the article? Okay. So he came, he went in with the glasses, he could see, he could write the article. The photographer comes that Monday, or that Friday, it's Friday, and he says, "You know, when this comes out on Sunday, you're going to quintuple your business." First of all, I had to figure out what quintuple meant. Because I know I was in the 5th quintile at school, at high school. I went to Central, and I know that I was in the 5th quintile. But anyway, so it comes out that he does the pictures, comes out on Sunday, and sure enough, the Saturday before we had our busiest day, I filled 15 prescriptions. Now, anybody in the optical business knows that 15 prescriptions is a good day, especially if you're selling stuff for $200, $300, $400, $500. But when you're filling 75 prescriptions at $25, you like really have to drink a lot of coffee, okay? And, you know, some espresso and some chocolate. Because I had to wait on all these people. Then I had to turn around and fit another 30, 40, 50 people who were picking up their glasses and then adjust their glasses. Nobody here has ever slept on their glasses, right? Never. Okay, so those people were coming in. And it was then that I realized that I had a company here, and I couldn't do this by myself anymore. And cloning hadn't come out yet. So I had to say to my friends and my brother, who is a friend, owns the eyeglass works in Manayunk, actually. If anybody goes to Manayunk, it's a plug for Jack. You got to quit your jobs and help me out here because this is not going to end. And within a year we had 3 stores, and 2 years we had 9 stores, and it was this geometric progression. But I realized I had to become a corporation now. Not me personally, not big enough. Clothes aren't wide enough, but I had to really act like a corporation. So I had to transfer this personal philosophy to all these other people. And I had a fellow came to me, and his name was Wayne, and he was from Chicago. You know, people from Chicago. Anybody here from Chicago? They have that. Anybody here? You from Chicago? Why do they say Meyer, the tire buyer's tires are on fire? Wait, I got to check my tires. Where did the rest of it? Where did that word go? It just disappears. So Wayne comes to me and he said, "Listen, I just got new tires. I have to pay for them. I'd love to open up a Four Eyes in Chicago." And I said to him, "Wayne, I know that you're enthralled with this, and I'm very pleased about that, but I have a question for you. What's your philosophy on life? What's your perspective on life? How do you treat people? How's your relationship with your family and your parents?" Goofy questions. This is before, I guess, they had all those crazy laws, you know. And I said, tell me what you would do if somebody came in and you know that they were indigent and they couldn't afford glasses, but you saw their prescription and they were legally blind. What would you do? It's an interesting question, you know. Somebody comes to you and needs something and they're indigent, and you make it, and you know what your spread is, and you can afford to give it to them. What would you do? Okay. So Wayne passed the litmus test. We didn't have urine tests back then. But I think Wayne would have passed the urine test also. And even though we were hippies, we still would have passed the urine test. And he came to work for me. The caveat was that he had to work for me for 6 months. But I had to make sure that he really got it. Or at least wanted it. Okay. So we worked for 6 months. We opened up a store in Chicago, in Newtown. Not that far from Wrigley Field, fortunately. I'm a baseball freak. Hey, what a surprise. Okay. So we opened this store up, and it does well. And then all of a sudden, another friend comes, and he says, "Dan, you know, I really love it here, Philly, but I'm a patient of yours. I'd really like to open a place in Berkeley."